Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. So we have been discussing about the sequence of tenses. So in the last class we learned about the rule first and the exceptions which we have to do with regard to the rule first. And today we will go on with the same topic, that is the sequence of tenses, and we move on to see the second rule with regard to the sequence of tenses. So, first, the second rule about sequence of tenses is a present or future tense in the principal clause may be followed by any tense in the subordinate clause as required by the sense. So, I can explain with an example. It is Tanya says that he went to Delhi. So, an example is written here. Tanya says that she went to Delhi. So, as it is said here in the principal clause, it will be present or future tense. And if there is a present or future tense in subordinate clause, any tense can be followed by any tense. So, it is not necessary that only the present has to be there in the subordinate clause, or the future has to be there in the subordinate clause. We can have any tense in the subordinate clause. So there is no special rule for that. If there is a present or future tense in the principal clause, any tense can be followed in the subordinate clause. I can give a few more examples later. They will say that they will not betray the country. So here in the principal clause it becomes a future tense, and in the subordinate clause again it becomes the future tense. So any tense can be followed by any tense. Or else he will say that Ramesh played a trick on him. So here what happens? In the principal clause it becomes a future tense, and then in the subordinate clause it becomes a past tense. So it is not a matter of a big thing that either the present tense has to be followed by present tense or future tense has to be followed by future tense, or nothing of that sort. So here in the principal clause, if it is present or future, in the subordinate clause any tense can be followed by any tense. And the last example which I can give, that is she will think that she worked hard. So here in the principal clause the future tense is used, and then in the subordinate clause what happened? A past tense is used in order to say the word. So that is all about the first rule which we have to think about. And when we studied the first rule also, we have seen there are some exceptions with regard to the first rule. In the same way, the second rule also has some exceptions with regard to it. So we'll see what are those. So here, whenever a subordinate clause expresses purpose, its verb is always in the present tense, even if the verb in the principal clause is present or future. For example, she works hard that she may survive. So what happened here? So here in the subordinate clause the verb expresses a purpose. So in the definition itself we can see, whenever a subordinate clause expresses a purpose, its verb is always in the present tense. For example, she works hard that she may survive. So here what is the purpose? The purpose is in order to survive. So here what happened? It becomes in the present form. Or I will say, he eats well that he may live. So what is the purpose of eating? That is to live longer. So whenever we express a purpose, the subordinate clause will be in the present tense. I can give one more example. He will go to Mumbai that he may attend the conference. So what is the purpose of going to Mumbai? It is to attend the conference. So what happens? Here we use the present form in order to express these kind of situations, where we express a purpose in the subordinate clause. So in the first example itself we can see she works hard that she may survive. Why is she working hard? It is to survive. So what is the purpose? It is the word survive. And since it is expressing a purpose, we always use the present tense in the sentence. Here in the sentence, the word expresses a purpose. We can see she may survive. Here, the word survive is the word which is used to say the purpose, and the sentence, the subordinate clause, is in the present tense. It is same with the other examples which I give. And there are few more things which we have to keep in mind when we speak about the second rule and exceptions with regard to it. So the next one is all about if the conjunction introducing the subordinate clause is less, the verb in the subordinate clause has should, irrespective of the tense of the verb in the principal clause, and so on. For example, he is careful lest he should fall. So here the word lest is used in the sentence, and so it has to be followed by the word should in the sentence. Because when we use the word lest and should, the meaning changes. What do you mean by he is careful lest he should fall? What does it mean, or what does it indicate? What does the word lest indicate in the sentence? It is he is careful that he may not fall. He is careful that he may not fall. So here, without using a negation in the sentence, the first sentence is said, he is careful lest he should fall. Here, the job of the word lest is to show the negation in the sentence. But it is not directly shown, but the meaning of the sentence is he is careful that he may not fall. So in such situations, what will happen? The subordinate clause has to be in the future tense, or else it has to be the word should will be there in the sentence. I can give a few more examples that he will be careful lest he should fall. What does it mean? It means he will be careful that he may not fall. So here in the first example, the present form is used and the word should is used. In the second example, the word will is used, which means a future tense is used and the word should is used. I will give one more example. He was careful lest he should fall. What does it mean? So here the word, he was careful in the sense it is the past form is used, and again in the subordinate clause the word should is used. So the meaning is that he was careful that he might not fall. So this will be the structure of the sentence, or the format or the sentence. So that is all about the second thing which we have to keep in mind. And we move on to the third one which we have to keep in mind. So that is all about, so I did not write here in the board, but I can explain. When a subordinate clause is introducing by, as though, or as if, the past tense is generally used to indicate a present time, and the past perfect to denote past time. For example, she treats him as if he were her own son. She treats him as if he were her own son. So what does it mean? It means she treated him as if he had been her own son. So here the word where is used in order to speak about a action or a past action. In order to use a past action, I can give one more examples. That is, he behaves as though it were nothing to be ashamed of. It is nothing to be ashamed of. So here it were is used. Or I can give one more example. If I were a bird, I would have flown away. So here, what is that? Here, I were is used in order to speak about a past action which happened. So the meaning of the other sentence which I said earlier is he behaved as though it had been nothing to be ashamed of. So here, had been can be used, but instead it were is used in order to show the past action which it says. So that is all about the other rule which we have to use. So here in the exceptions we have seen two rules, that is, one is the use of lest and should, and another one is the use of I were or it were or the were. So that is all about it. So we move on to the last one, that is, there is one more exceptions which is there in the rule second and in the sequence of tenses. That is the use of first type of conditional sentences. First type of conditional sentences. So we'll be speaking about the conditional sentences and the three types of conditional sentences in the other classes, because we have a chapter as it is in order to study. So we won't go deep into conditional sentences, but we'll see a brief introduction to the type 1 conditional clause. So here in type 1 conditional clause, what happened? There will be a subordinate clause in the beginning, and that will be in a present form, and there will be a principal clause at the end of the sentence which will be in future form. So in type 1 conditional sentence, the tense of the verb in the principal clause is future, and that of the verb in subordinate clause in present. So in the subordinate clause it will be a present action, and in the principal clause it will be a future action. I can give few examples like, if you help me, I shall reward you. So here in the subordinate clause, the sentence is in present tense, and the principal clause, it becomes a future action. So it won't change. So in conditional sentences, or the type 1 conditional sentences, this form will be followed, which means the subordinate clause will be in the present form and the principal clause will be in the future form. I can give few more examples like, unless she apologizes, she will not meet her again. So here unless is used, or that is a conditional, the word which refers to the condition. We won't go deep into all those, but we speak upon the sentence which is there, that is, unless she apologizes. So here this sentence is a subordinate clause of course. It is in the present tense, and the coming sentence, that is, he will not meet her again, it is a future tense which expresses the condition, or the type 1 conditional sentence in the sense a condition which may or may not fulfill. So those kind of things are said in the type 1 conditional sentences, and this is an example of that, that is, unless she apologizes, he will not meet her again. So here this the act of apologizing can take place or may not take place. So as I said in the beginning, type 1 conditional sentence means an action which may or may not fulfill. So those kind of actions are said in the type 1 conditional sentences. And I can give one more example, that is, if it is cloudy, they will postpone the match. So here in the first sentence, that is subordinate clause, it is of course the present tense and follows the future tense in the principal clause. So here also we can understand that the action may or may not fulfill. Either, see the example is, if it is cloudy, they will postpone the match. So it is not sure that they will postpone or not. So sometimes if the cloud is going away or flying away, what will happen? They may not postpone the match. So the action may or may not fulfill in the sentence. So this is all about the conditional sentences and the exception which are with regard to all these. So we will see a brief introduction or a brief summary about the things which we have studied today. So we have been talking about the sequence of tenses and the rule second in our class. So the rule second, mainly it is like this: a present or future tense in the principal clause may be followed by any tense in the subordinate clause as required by the sense. In the sense, any tense can be followed by any tense, but in a principal clause there will be a present or a future tense. So this present or future tense can be followed by any tense as it required by the sense. So that is clear. And there are some examples with regard to that. So the first one is, when we express a purpose, what will happen? Verb is always in the present tense. For example, she works hard that she may survive. So here the word survive is the purpose which it explains, and so the subordinate clause will be in the present tense, and the words lest, should, as though, as if, and all these things will have another impact in the sentence. And the last one which we studied is the conditional sentence, the type 1 conditional sentences. So what does it mean? So here the type 1 conditional sentence will have a present tense in the subordinate clause and a future tense in the principal clause. So this is all about the things which we have studied today, and we will come up with another topic in the next class. Thank you.